She had no idea that saving two strangers from a burning car would expose the biggest criminal operation her town had ever seen. Maya Johnson sees the flames first, then the screaming. A black SUV lies crushed on Highway 9, two men trapped inside. The engine is ticking. That sound her grandmother taught her means an explosion coming fast. Maya doesn't think. She runs. Glass slices her hands as she smashes the window. The first man won't wake up. She drags him out anyway, back for the second one. Heavier, harder to move. The flames are spreading. 30 seconds left, maybe less. She pulls with everything she has. Both men clear off the wreck just as it explodes in a fireball that lights up the Tennessee night. Maya sits in the mud, catching her breath, checking their pulses. Both alive. She has no idea she just saved two FBI agents. She has no idea this moment will transform her from invisible to invaluable. She has no idea her life just changed forever. All she knows is she couldn't watch them die. But Maya's story of survival started long before that fateful night. Every morning at 5 a.m., Maya Johnson wakes up in the rusted Winnebago parked behind Mel's Diner in Millbrook, Tennessee. The heater stopped working 2 winters ago. Her breath creates little clouds in the cold air as she reaches for the alarm clock, a wind-up model because electricity is a luxury she can't afford. Rex stretches beside her, his German Shepherd body taking up half the narrow bed. He's been her constant companion since Grandma died 18 months ago, leaving Maya with nothing but an old RV and a promise to keep climbing, even when the mountain seems impossible. The morning routine never changes. 50 jumping jacks to get warm. Split a can of beans with Rex. He gets the bigger portion because he's growing and she's already stopped. Quick wash in the diner's bathroom when Mel isn't looking, using the soap dispenser and paper towels to stay clean for school. Maya talks to Rex constantly as they walk the abandoned railroad tracks, collecting aluminum cans and returnable bottles. Today she's practicing her college application essay out loud. Okay, boy, how about this? Despite facing homelessness at 16 after my grandmother's death, I maintained a 3.8 GPA because education is the one thing no one can take away. She pauses, watching Rex tilt his head. You're right, too dramatic. College admissions people probably hear that stuff all the time. Her phone, a cracked flip phone with exactly $2.47 of prepaid minutes left, buzzes with a text from her guidance counselor about scholarship deadlines. Maya deletes it without reading. Dreams feel dangerous when you're not sure where your next meal is coming from. Grandma's voice echoes in her memory as they walk past the closed textile factory. Maya girl, we may not have much, but we've got each other and we've got integrity. That's more than some folks with mansions. The physical reminders of her situation are everywhere. Holes in her sneakers covered with duct tape. A winter coat 3 sizes too big that she wears year-round because it's the only one she has. Rex's ribs showing slightly, despite her giving him most of their shared meals. But Maya refuses to let bitterness take root. Every Saturday, she volunteers at the animal shelter, helping older dogs find homes. People always want puppies, she tells Rex as they walk past the shelter. But the old ones have the biggest hearts. They just need someone to see it. She helps Mrs. Carter carry groceries every Tuesday, never accepting the $5 the elderly woman tries to press into her hands. I'm not doing it for money, Mrs. Carter. I'm doing it because it's right. Every Sunday, Maya places fresh wildflower bouquets on her grandmother's grave. Today, she sits cross-legged beside the headstone, Rex lying down next to her. I'm trying, Grandma. I really am. But sometimes I feel like I'm invisible. Like I'm watching real life happen to other people through windows I can't enter. Rex whines softly and nuzzles her hand. I know, boy. You see me. But what happens when I graduate? What happens if I can't afford college? What happens if we end up living in this Winnebago forever? Her biggest fear isn't hunger or cold, it's becoming bitter. She fights daily against the voice that whispers, why try? Nobody cares about kids like you. Rex is her anchor. He depends on her, trusts her completely, loves her unconditionally. The townspeople know her as that sweet girl with the dog. They're kind but distant. Maya exists on the edges of their world, helpful when needed, invisible when not. Walking back toward the Winnebago that evening, Maya notices something different about Millbrook lately. More expensive cars with tinted windows driving through their little town. Vehicles that don't match the usual pickup trucks and 10-year-old sedans. Rich folks have been coming through here a lot lately, she mentions to Rex as a black Mercedes with Virginia plates cruises past. Wonder what they want with our little town. Ain't exactly a tourist destination. Rex's ears perk up as the car passes, but Maya doesn't think much of it. Rich people probably have their reasons for driving through small Tennessee towns. None of her business anyway. Back at the Winnebago, Maya opens her last can of soup, chicken noodle that expired 3 months ago but still smells okay. She pours half into Rex's bowl, half into her own. They eat dinner sitting on the RV's tiny fold-down table, Maya reading her biology textbook by the light of a battery-powered lantern. You know what, Rex? Maybe things will get better. Maybe something good is coming our way. Rex wags his tail, always optimistic when Maya is. Grandma used to say that kindness comes back around, that if you keep doing right by people, the universe finds a way to do right by you. Maya scratches behind Rex's ears. I don't know if I believe in all that cosmic stuff, but I believe in doing what's right. That's gotta count for something. As she settles into bed that night, Maya doesn't know that tomorrow will change everything. She doesn't know that her unwavering commitment to helping others, even when she has nothing to give, is about to be tested in ways she never imagined. She just knows that whatever tomorrow brings, she'll face it the same way she faces every day, with integrity, with Rex by her side, and with the unshakable belief that good things happen to people who refuse to give up. What Maya doesn't realize is that tomorrow night, her chance to prove those beliefs will come in the most unexpected way possible. That Tuesday night in October, Maya was about to witness something that would change everything. Maya and Rex walk Highway 9 around 9 p.m., their usual evening route to check the dumpster behind Tony's Pizza before it gets collected. Maya's stomach rumbles. They shared a sleeve of crackers for dinner, and that's all the food left until tomorrow. The October air bites through her oversized coat. Storm clouds gather overhead, heavy and threatening. Lightning flickers in the distance, illuminating the empty road in brief, jagged flashes. Come on, Rex, let's make this quick, Maya says, pulling her hood up. That storm's gonna hit hard. They've walked this route hundreds of times. Maya knows every pothole, every mile marker, every place where the shoulder drops off into drainage ditches. Tonight feels different, though. Rex keeps looking over his shoulder, ears alert. What's got you spooked, boy? Thunder rumbles overhead. The first fat raindrops splatter on the asphalt. Then Maya hears it. An engine roaring at dangerous speed. Way too fast for this winding road in bad weather. Blinding headlights crest the hill behind them, approaching like a missile. Maya grabs Rex and dives into the roadside ditch just as a black SUV screams past them, engine howling. Jesus, Rex! They're gonna kill someone driving like... The screech of brakes cuts through the thunder. Metal groans, glass explodes. Maya's heart pounds as she peers over the ditch. The SUV has hit a patch of standing water, hydroplaned, and flipped 3 times before sliding to a stop upside down. Steam pours from the crumpled vehicle. The acrid smell of gasoline fills the air. Maya approaches slowly. Rex closes behind her. Through the spider-webbed windshield, she sees 2 men trapped inside, both unconscious. Blood trickles from the driver's head onto the SUV's crushed roof. The passenger is wedged against the doorframe, his breathing shallow. The engine makes a dangerous ticking sound, metal cooling too fast. Maya learned from her grandmother's mechanic days that this sound means fire is coming. Maybe 3 minutes, maybe less. Her hands shake as she pulls out her flip phone and dials 911. 911, what's your emergency? There's been a bad accident on Highway 9, mile marker 12. 2 people trapped inside. I think the car's gonna catch fire. Static crackles through the phone. Emergency services are responding, but we're looking at 15 minutes due to the storm conditions. Stay back from the vehicle for your safety. Maya stares at the overturned SUV. 15 minutes. These men will be dead in 5. She looks at Rex, who whines and paces anxiously. Every survival instinct tells her to wait for professionals. She's 17 years old, weighs maybe 120 pounds soaking wet, has no training for this kind of emergency. But Grandma's voice whispers in her memory. Maya, girl, when someone needs help and you can give it, you don't think, you act. Maya studies the trapped men more carefully. They're wearing expensive suits despite the late hour, tailored jackets, polished shoes, silk ties. The driver has a distinctive silver watch that catches the lightning. Something about their appearance seems formal, coordinated. Too dressed up for a casual night drive through rural Tennessee. The passenger has what looks like an American flag pin on his lapel. Not the cheap kind sold at gas stations, but something official-looking with tiny engravings. Thunder crashes overhead as orange flames begin licking at the engine block. "I can't just watch them die, Rex!" Maya approaches the wreck. The smell of gasoline is stronger now. The flames are small but growing. She estimates maybe 2 minutes before the fire reaches the fuel tank. The passenger door is completely crushed, but the driver's side window is broken. Maya might be able to reach through if she can clear the glass safely. Her hands tremble as she picks up a rock from the roadside. This is insane. She could get hurt. She could make things worse. She has no idea what she's doing, but 2 human beings are about to burn to death 20 feet away from her. Maya has spent her entire life feeling invisible, powerless, watching important things happen to other people. Not tonight. Tonight, she refuses to be a bystander. "Okay, Grandma," she whispers. "You always said integrity matters more than safety. Let's see if you are right." Rain begins falling harder, mixing with the smoke from the engine. Maya knows that in about 90 seconds, this decision point will be gone forever. Either she acts now, or these men die. She looks at Rex one more time. He's watching her with complete trust, ready to follow wherever she leads. Maya takes a deep breath and steps toward the burning SUV. What she doesn't know is that this single decision, this moment of choosing courage over caution, will save far more than 2 lives. It will save her entire community from a criminal conspiracy that would have destroyed everything she's ever called home. But right now, all Maya knows is that she can't stand by and watch people suffer when she has the power to help. The flames grow higher. Time is running out. Maya had seconds to save 2 lives, but she had no idea those lives would save her town. Maya grabs the rock, aims for the driver's side window, smashes it hard. Glass explodes inward. Sharp pieces cut her hands. She ignores the pain. Rex barks frantically as flames grow larger behind them. "Can you hear me?" Maya shouts at the driver. No response. His head lolls to one side. Blood drips from a gash above his eye. Maya pulls out her grandmother's old pocket knife, cuts through his seatbelt. The blade is dull, but it works. She hooks her arms under his shoulders. He's dead weight, maybe 180 pounds of unconscious man. Maya weighs 120 pounds, soaking wet. Come on," she grunts, pulling backward. Her feet slip in the mud. She falls, dragging him with her. His expensive suit jacket tears on the broken glass. Maya gets back up, pulls harder. The flames are spreading. Orange light dances across the rain-soaked road, 15 feet from the vehicle. She drags him another 5 feet, then collapses, breathing hard. 1 down, 1 to go. Maya runs back to the SUV. The passenger is wedged against the crushed door frame. His breathing is shallow but steady. The fire has reached the engine compartment now. Maybe 40 seconds left. Maya climbs halfway through the broken window. Glass cuts her arms and legs. She doesn't stop. She cuts the passenger's seatbelt. He's older than the driver, with silver hair and a lined face. His American flag pin catches the firelight. This man is heavier, harder to maneuver in tight spaces. Maya braces her feet against the SUV's frame, pulls with everything she has. Rex starts barking differently, his extreme danger bark. Maya has heard it only twice before, both times when she was about to step on snakes. She looks up. The flames have reached the fuel line. 20 seconds, maybe less. Maya pulls harder. Her vision goes spotty from exertion. Her muscles scream in protest. The man's body shifts. She's got him halfway out. 15 seconds. Maya falls backward, dragging him clear of the wreck. They land in a heap in the muddy grass. 10 seconds. Maya scrambles to her feet, grabs the unconscious man under the arms, and drags him toward where the first man lies. 5 seconds. Not far enough. They're still too close. Maya throws herself over both men just as the SUV explodes. The fireball lights up the night sky. Heat washes over them like opening an oven door. Burning debris rains down around them. Rex shields Maya with his body as pieces of twisted metal thud into the ground nearby. Maya's ears ring from the explosion. Smoke stings her eyes. But she's alive. Both men are alive. She sits up slowly, checking them for breathing. The driver's pulse is strong and steady. The passenger is breathing normally despite a nasty bump on his forehead. Maya uses her torn jacket to apply pressure to the driver's head wound. Rain soaks through her thin t-shirt, but she doesn't move from her position between the injured men and the burning wreckage. Her hands shake now that the adrenaline is wearing off. The cuts from the glass sting. Her muscles ache from the impossible effort of moving two grown men. But they're alive. That's what matters. Maya examines the men more carefully while waiting for the ambulance. The older man's suit is expensive. She can tell by the fabric and the way it's tailored. His silver watch looks like it costs more than Maya sees in 6 months. But it's the small details that seem odd. Both men have identical American flag pins. Not the patriotic kind you buy at Walmart, but something official-looking with tiny engravings and what appears to be a serial number. The younger man has a tactical-style watch under his torn sleeve, the kind she's seen in military magazines. His shoes are polished leather, built for walking, not driving. These aren't just wealthy businessmen. Something about them feels official, purposeful. Maya also notices their physical condition. Despite being unconscious, both men are clearly in excellent shape. The driver has calloused hands and muscular forearms. The passenger has a small scar above his left eyebrow, the kind that comes from training accidents, not workplace mishaps. "Who are you guys?" Maya whispers. Rex sniffs around the wreckage, staying clear of the flames. He returns to Maya's side and sits down, pressing against her leg. His way of saying good job. Maya strokes his wet fur. "We did it, boy. We actually did it." Sirens wail in the distance, growing louder. The first paramedic on scene surveys the wreckage, then looks at Maya sitting in the mud between two unconscious men, her hands covered in blood, her clothes torn and soaked. "Miss, are you injured?" "I'm okay," Maya says. "But these two men were trapped inside when it exploded." The paramedic stares at the twisted, burning metal. "You pulled them both out of that?" Maya nods. "By yourself?" "Had to," Maya says simply. "Couldn't just watch them die." The paramedic calls for backup as more emergency vehicles arrive. Maya steps back as the professionals take over, checking vitals, starting IVs, preparing the men for transport. "Miss," the paramedic says as they load the first stretcher into the ambulance. "What you did tonight, that was incredibly brave and incredibly dangerous." Maya shrugs. "My grandmother always said when someone needs help and you can give it, you don't think, you act." "Your grandmother sounds like a wise woman." "She was," Maya says quietly. As the ambulances pull away, lights flashing, Maya realizes she doesn't even know the men's names. She saved two complete strangers, nearly died doing it, and has no idea who they are or what they were doing on this road tonight. Sheriff Martinez arrives as the fire department extinguishes the last of the flames. He takes Maya's statement, writes down her contact information, and arranges for someone to drive her and Rex back to the Winnebago. "You're a hero tonight, young lady," the sheriff says. "Those men owe you their lives." Maya doesn't feel like a hero. She feels exhausted, sore, and worried about the medical bills she can't afford if her cuts get infected. But she also feels something else, a quiet satisfaction that she did the right thing when it mattered most. When faced with a choice between safety and service, she chose to serve. As the deputy drops them off behind Mel's diner, Maya looks at Rex in the dim light from the Winnebago's battery-powered lantern. "Just another Tuesday night, huh, boy?" Rex wags his tail, already moving on to more important concerns like whether there might be any leftover crackers. Maya bandages her cuts with the first aid kit Grandma left in the RV. Tomorrow she'll go to school, turn in her biology homework, and pretend this never happened. But something tells her this night changed everything, even if she doesn't understand how yet. What Maya doesn't know is that by saving two strangers, she's just altered the course of her entire life and saved her community from a threat they never saw coming. Maya had no idea that her simple act of kindness had just saved two of the most important men in federal law enforcement. At Millbrook General Hospital, Maya sits in the waiting room wearing borrowed scrubs. Her clothes were too bloody to wear. Rex waits outside with a sympathetic nurse. Maya's hands are bandaged from the broken glass, but she refused pain medication. Can't afford the bill. The older man approaches her around midnight. He's bruised but walking, his silver hair disheveled. His eyes are intense, grateful. "Miss Johnson," he says formally, "I'm David. I need to thank you properly. What you did tonight?" He pauses, searching for words. "You saved our lives at tremendous risk to your own." Maya shrugs, uncomfortable with the tension. "Anyone would have done the same." "No," David says firmly. "Most people would have waited for professionals. You acted when action was needed." He pulls out a business card. "I'd like to arrange proper compensation for—" "I don't want money," Maya interrupts. "Y'all are okay. That's enough." David studies her. This teenager in borrowed scrubs who refuses payment for saving 2 lives. Maya notices the card. Expensive card stock with just a name and phone number. No company logo, no title. The phone number has a DC area code. "At least let me replace your jacket. Buy you and your dog a good meal." Maya stands, suddenly aware of the class difference between them. His suit, even torn and bloody, probably costs more than she sees in 6 months. "We're fine, sir, really. Just glad you're both going to be okay." David's partner approaches, the younger man from the wreck, built like a military with careful eyes that catalog everything. He moves like someone trained in self-defense. "She won't take money," David tells him quietly. The younger man extends his hand. "Michael Rodriguez. Then how about this? You never need anything at all, you call us." He hands her a card identical to David's. "I mean it. Any favor, any help, any time." Maya takes the card politely. Same expensive card stock, same minimal information. Odd for businessmen. "Thank you, but I won't need—" "Keep it anyway," Michael insists. "Sometimes life surprises us." As Maya leaves, she notices David speaking quietly to a doctor, showing some kind of ID that makes the doctor's demeanor immediately shift to respectful attention, not the way doctors usually treat car accident victims. "Of course, Agent Carter," the doctor says. "Whatever you need." "Agent?" Maya's heart skips. She hurries outside before they notice her listening. Walking to the parking lot with Rex, Maya examines the business cards under a streetlight. High-quality printing, expensive card stock, that Washington, D.C. area code. "Weird, Rex," she murmurs. "What are government agents doing on back roads in Tennessee at night?" Rex sniffs the cards and whines, his something's not right sound. Maya pockets the cards and focuses on getting home before the Winnebago gets too cold. A security guard offers them a ride, which Maya gratefully accepts. During the drive back, she replays the accident in her mind. She feels proud, not of being heroic, but of honoring Grandma's values when it mattered most. She acted without thinking of reward or recognition, exactly as she was raised. But questions linger in her mind. Who were those men really? What kind of agents? FBI? Secret Service? And why were they driving through rural Tennessee at night? More importantly, why did saving them feel like the beginning of something rather than the end? That night, lying in her narrow bed with Rex curled against her for warmth, Maya stares at the 2 business cards on her tiny bedside table. She thinks about David's firm handshake, Michael's military bearing, the way both men carried themselves with quiet authority. These weren't random businessmen who happened to crash near her town. Tomorrow she'll go to school, turn in her biology homework, and try to focus on normal teenage problems like college applications and part-time job applications. But Maya has a feeling this story isn't over. Something about tonight felt like a door opening rather than closing. She just doesn't know what's waiting on the other side yet. Rex stretches and sighs contentedly, already asleep. For him, tonight was simple. They helped people who needed help. Mission accomplished. If only Maya could let go of her questions that easily. But as she drifts off to sleep, one thought keeps circling. What were federal agents doing in Millbrook, Tennessee? Maya had no idea that her quiet town was about to become the center of a federal investigation. Over the next week, strange things happen in Millbrook. 3 black SUVs with government plates park at the town's only hotel. Men in dark suits order coffee at Mel's Diner, speaking quietly into earpieces. Old Mr. Patterson, who runs the hardware store, seems nervous, constantly checking his phone. Maya starts feeling watched. Rex becomes protective, refusing to let her walk alone. The Winnebago has unexplained scratches on the side, long, deliberate marks that weren't there before. Late one night, her flip phone rings. Unknown number. "Hello?" Maya whispers, heavy breathing. Then, Forget what you saw. The line goes dead. The next night, another call. Smart girls mind their own business. Maya mentions the strange activity to Mel while washing dishes. Lots of federal-looking folks around lately? Mel glances around nervously, dropping his coffee pot. The government's probably just doing some environmental assessment on the old factory. Nothing to worry about. But Mel's hands shake as he cleans up the broken pieces. The factory detail, Maya and Rex walk past Millbrook Textiles on their evening route. The factory's been closed for 3 years, rusted gates, broken windows, weeds everywhere. But tonight, there are fresh tire tracks in the gravel. Lots of them. Rex growls low in his throat, hackles raised. He's never done that at the empty factory before. Through a gap in the fence, Maya sees lights moving inside the supposedly abandoned building. Not flashlights, something brighter, more systematic. A security guard emerges from the shadows. "Hey, you can't be here!" Maya raises her hands. "Sorry, we're just walking by. Didn't know anyone was—" "Well, now you know. Keep moving." As they walk away, Maya notices the guard has a radio and what looks like a weapon. Since when does an abandoned factory need armed security? Rex keeps looking over his shoulder, sensing they're being followed. The warning call. That night, Maya's phone rings. It's David. "Maya, I wanted to check. Has anyone approached you recently? Asked questions about that night?" Maya hesitates, thinking of the threatening calls. "Why would they?" A pause. "Probably nothing, just... If anyone does ask questions, or if you notice anything unusual around town, call me immediately." "Mr. David, what kind of business are you really in?" Another pause, longer this time. "The kind that sometimes puts good people at risk. Promise me you'll call if anything feels wrong." After he hangs up, Maya stares at her phone. Rex whines and presses against her leg, still nervous from their walk. "Something big's happening, boy, and somehow we're right in the middle of it." Maya looks out the Winnebago's small window at the quiet streets of Millbrook. Everything looks normal, but nothing feels normal anymore. Whatever David and Michael were really doing here, it's bigger than a simple car accident. And Maya is starting to realize that saving their lives might have put her own life in danger. Maya was about to discover that her small town was hiding a secret that went all the way to Washington, D.C. Friday afternoon, Maya notices commotion at the town square. Police cars, news vans, crowds of people. She and Rex hurry over to investigate. Sheriff Martinez stands at a makeshift podium. Behind him, David and Michael, no longer in business suits but wearing FBI windbreakers. Maya's stomach drops. FBI agents. The men she saved were FBI agents. Agent David Carter steps forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Special Agent David Carter, FBI Financial Crimes Division. My partner is Special Agent Michael Rodriguez. Thanks to the brave actions of a local citizen, we've uncovered and shut down one of the largest money laundering operations in Tennessee history." The crowd murmurs in shock. Maya feels the ground shifting under her feet. "For the past 6 months, we've been investigating the abandoned Millbrook Textiles factory being used as a front for criminal activity. Last Tuesday night, while conducting surveillance, our vehicle was forced off the road during a storm. The businessmen Maya had been seeing weren't random visitors. They were criminals using Millbrook as a hub for washing drug money through fake textile orders. The factory wasn't abandoned. It was operating illegally, processing millions of dollars in dirty cash." Agent Carter continues. "This network was moving $2 million in drug proceeds through Millbrook monthly. They chose our town because small communities don't get federal attention. Agent Rodriguez and I were closing in when someone discovered our surveillance. Last Tuesday night, criminal associates tried to eliminate us by forcing our vehicle off Highway 9. Maya realizes the stunning truth. The crash wasn't an accident. Someone tried to murder federal agents. "If not for Maya Johnson," Agent Carter says, looking directly at her, "my partner and I would have died that night. More importantly, this criminal network would have continued operating, bringing drugs and violence into your community." Every eye turns to Maya. She wants to disappear. Agent Rodriguez takes the microphone. "We've learned that criminal associates threatened Miss Johnson after discovering she witnessed our accident. Despite facing personal danger, she never wavered in doing what was right. Maya's danger confirmed. The phone calls, the scratches on the Winnebago, all real threats from people trying to silence her." Sheriff Martinez steps forward. The FBI has seized over $12 million in cash and assets. 14 arrests were made yesterday, including several local business owners. The shocking local connections: Mr. Patterson from the hardware store was a local coordinator. 3 other business owners Maya knew were part of the conspiracy, people she'd trusted her entire life. Agent Carter reveals the expansion plans. This network was preparing to turn Millbrook into a major drug distribution hub. They planned to recruit local youth as couriers and establish permanent operations here. Maya's blood runs cold. They were going to destroy her town, target kids she went to school with, turn families into victims. The investigation began 8 months ago, but last Tuesday's events gave us final evidence. The attempted murder of federal agents elevated this to a terrorism investigation. The weight hits Maya. If she'd waited for paramedics like the dispatcher said, these agents would have died. The investigation would have died with them. Millbrook would have become a drug trafficking center. Agent Carter addresses the crowd. This network targeted Millbrook because of economic hardship following mill closures. They prey on struggling communities where oversight is limited. Maya thinks about her own desperation, how easy it would have been for criminals to approach her with tempting offers. Maya Johnson, Agent Rodriguez announces. By saving our lives, you literally saved your town. You stopped violence, addiction, and crime that would have affected thousands of innocent people. The crowd erupts in applause. Maya feels overwhelmed by the magnitude of what she'd prevented without knowing it. Mrs. Carter approaches first. Maya, honey, you saved all of us. More neighbors surround her. For the first time, Maya sees real respect in their eyes. Not pity for that homeless girl, but recognition of what she'd accomplished. The moment of understanding. Agent Carter approaches after the press conference. Miss Johnson, I owe you an apology. When I offered you money that night, I was thinking like a grateful civilian. I should have been thinking like a federal agent. What do you mean? You didn't just save 2 lives. You saved this entire community from becoming a drug corridor. You prevented millions in criminal proceeds from flowing through here. You stopped violence that would have claimed innocent lives. And you faced personal threats because of it. Maya stares at him, processing the enormity of his words. Maya, what you did was the most important act of law enforcement assistance in this region's history. You did it without knowing what was at stake, purely from moral instinct. Agent Rodriguez adds, you acted with courage when courage was needed. You showed integrity when no one was watching. You risked your life for strangers, then refused to be intimidated by criminals. Those aren't small acts, they're heroic. Maya looks around at her neighbors, at Rex, at the town she's called home even when feeling invisible. Everything has changed in one press conference. I just couldn't let you die, Maya says quietly. That's exactly why it matters, Agent Carter responds. No agenda, no expectation of reward. That's what real heroes do. The weight of everyone's attention feels overwhelming. This morning she was nobody. Now she's the girl who saved an entire town. Maya, Agent Carter continues. The FBI has protocols for civilians who provide extraordinary assistance, but what you've earned goes far beyond standard compensation. Are you willing to hear what the federal government would like to offer you? Maya looks at Rex, who wags his tail encouragingly. She thinks about her grandmother's words about doing the right thing and coming back around. What kind of offer? She asks. Agent Carter smiles. The kind that changes everything. What the FBI was about to offer Maya would transform not just her life, but her entire community's future. Agent Carter leads Maya and Rex to a quiet conference room in the town hall. Agent Rodriguez carries a thick folder. Maya's hands shake slightly as she sits down, partly from nerves, partly from the adrenaline of everything she's just learned. Maya, Agent Carter begins, opening the folder. The federal government has several ways to recognize extraordinary civilian assistance. Given the magnitude of what you've done and the personal risk you faced, we're prepared to offer you something unprecedented. He slides the first document across the table. There's a standard DEA reward for information leading to drug trafficking arrests, $2.3 million. Maya's eyes widened. Rex, sensing her shock, puts his head on her lap. $2.3 million, more money than exists in her entire world. But that's just the beginning, Agent Rodriguez continues. The money seized from this operation, $12 million, legally becomes federal asset forfeiture. However, There's a provision allowing exceptional portions to be granted to citizens whose actions directly enabled the seizure. Agent Carter slides another paper across. The FBI is recommending you receive $4.7 million from the seized criminal assets. Maya stares at the numbers. $7 million total. She can't even process what that means. This includes compensation for the danger you faced, Agent Rodriguez adds seriously. Criminal organizations don't hesitate to eliminate witnesses. You put your life on the line twice. Once to save us, and again by refusing to be intimidated by their threats. Maya thinks about those terrifying phone calls, the scratches on the Winnebago, the constant feeling of being watched. She'd been in real danger and hadn't fully understood it. But here's what makes this truly extraordinary, Agent Carter continues. Your case has caught attention at the highest levels of the Department of Justice. They want to create something called the Maya Johnson Community Protection Initiative. The federal government wants to use Maya's story to launch a nationwide program identifying at-risk communities vulnerable to criminal exploitation. Maya wouldn't just be a symbol, she'd be an active participant in protecting other towns. Agent Rodriguez explains the specific offer. Asterisk full scholarship to any university in America, including graduate school, asterisk guaranteed internship with the FBI, Criminal Justice Information Services Division, asterisk housing allowance that would let her buy a house in Millbrook and maintain it while in school, asterisk Rex receives full veterinary care for life through a federal program, asterisk $500,000 seed funding to start any community improvement project she chooses, asterisk personal security detail until all criminal associates are prosecuted. Essentially, Agent Carter explains, you'd help design and implement community protection programs in small towns across America, places like Millbrook that criminals target because they seem invisible to law enforcement. Maya's mind races. Help other communities? Prevent what almost happened here from happening elsewhere? Your experience, growing up here, understanding how these communities work, makes you uniquely qualified, Agent Rodriguez continues. You've proven you understand something trained agents sometimes miss. Protecting a community means understanding its heart. Maya thinks about all the small towns like Millbrook across America, places where kids like her grow up feeling invisible, where economic hardship makes communities vulnerable. I'd be helping other places? She asks. More than helping, Agent Carter says. You'd be leading the charge. This program would be built around your insights about community dynamics, about spotting criminal infiltration, about building trust between federal law enforcement and local residents. The most incredible part? Agent Carter slides another document across the table. The town of Millbrook is receiving a $3 million federal community development grant, specifically because of your actions. Maya looks up sharply. What does that mean? It means your grandmother's dream, the one you told us about in the hospital, about seeing Millbrook thrive again, is going to happen. The federal government is investing in this town because one citizen proved that small communities produce extraordinary people. Maya's vision blurs with tears. Her grandmother always believed Millbrook could be great again, that good people doing good things would eventually turn things around. The grant will fund infrastructure improvements, business development loans, and educational programs, Agent Rodriguez adds. Millbrook becomes a model for community resilience. For the first time since her grandmother died, Maya cries from hope instead of grief. Rex whines softly and licks her tears. I don't understand, she whispers. All I did was help 2 people. Maya, Agent Carter says gently. You acted with courage when courage was needed. You showed integrity when no one was watching. You risked your life for strangers because it was right. When criminals tried to silence you, you stood firm. Those aren't small acts. They're the foundation of everything good in this world. Maya looks out the window at Millbrook's main street, the struggling shops, the empty lots where businesses used to be, the people she's known her whole life who finally see her as more than that homeless girl with the dog. If I do this, she says slowly, when would I start college? This fall if you want, or you could take a gap year, work with our community outreach team, see how the program develops. Maya thinks about her grandmother who always said education was the one thing no one could take away. Then she thinks about all the Mayas and all the Millbrooks across America, kids who feel invisible, who think they don't matter. Her voice grows stronger. I want to do it, all of it, but I have one condition. The agents exchange glances. What's that? Maya smiles for the first time since the accident. Rex comes with me, everywhere. If I'm going to help protect communities, I want my partner by my side. Agent Carter laughs. Maya, after what you've done, I think we can arrange for Rex to get federal credentials too. Maya looks at the papers spread across the table. Documents that represent more opportunity than she ever imagined possible. $7 million, college, a career protecting communities, a chance to honor her grandmother's memory by lifting up places like Millbrook. Most importantly, the knowledge that her decision to help two strangers has created a program that will protect thousands of people in communities just like hers. When do we start? Maya asks. Agent Rodriguez grins. How about right now? Maya's transformation was just the beginning. Her entire community was about to change in ways no one could have imagined. 3 months later, Maya Johnson, college freshman at Vanderbilt University studying criminal justice with a psychology minor, returns to Millbrook every weekend. She's traded the rusted Winnebago for a modest 2-bedroom house on Elm Street, her first real home since Grandma died. Rex has his own backyard now, complete with a memory foam dog bed that costs more than Maya used to spend on food in a month. But the changes go deeper than material comfort. Maya carries herself differently, not arrogant but confident. She speaks at university events about community-police relations. Her professors treat her as a colleague, not just a student. For the first time in her life, Maya belongs in academic spaces. Millbrook's transformation is even more dramatic. The federal development grant has revitalized downtown. 6 new businesses line Main Street, including a bookstore cafe run by Mrs. Carter. The old textile factory has been converted into a community center and small business incubator. 23 local residents have started new enterprises with federal microloans. The unemployment rate has dropped from 31% to 12% in just 3 months. Most importantly, Millbrook has become the flagship community for the Maya Johnson Initiative. Every month, federal agents and community development specialists visit to study how small towns can build resilience against criminal infiltration. The ripple effect spreads nationally. Maya's story has been featured in major media outlets, but not in the exploitative way she feared. Instead, she's become the face of a new approach to federal law enforcement, one that recognizes local citizens as partners, not just witnesses. Her Washington Post op-ed, Why Small Towns Matter to National Security, has been read over 2 million times. The piece argues that strengthening communities prevents crime more effectively than any surveillance system. Community pride has been restored. People in Millbrook no longer see their town as forgotten or invisible. They have purpose now, serving as an example of how communities can protect themselves while maintaining their values. Tourism has increased 300% as people come to see the town that fought back against crime. Local hotels are booked months in advance, with visitors wanting to learn about community resilience. Maya walks Main Street on Saturday mornings, and the interactions have completely changed. Mr. Peterson from the auto shop stops her to ask about college, tells her his daughter is applying because of Maya's example. Mrs. Rodriguez brings homemade tamales and asks Maya to speak to her son's high school class about finding purpose in small places. Rex has his own transformation story. The German Shepherd has become Millbrook's unofficial mascot. Children ask to pet the hero dog, and he visits the community center daily to provide comfort to elderly residents. Maya has trained him to recognize signs of distress and provide emotional support to people struggling with trauma from discovering how close their town came to criminal takeover. The national program shows unprecedented success. The Maya Johnson Community Protection Initiative operates in 47 small towns across 12 states. Each community receives training on recognizing criminal infiltration, federal support for economic development, and direct communication channels with law enforcement. The program has prevented an estimated $89 million in criminal activity and protected over 150,000 residents from drug trafficking, money laundering, and related violence. Maya travels to these communities during school breaks, always with Rex, helping federal agents understand local dynamics and building trust between residents and law enforcement. She's discovered a gift for translation, helping federal officials understand small-town concerns while helping communities see how federal resources can support their goals without changing their character. Media coverage shows dramatic before and after comparisons. National news features footage of Millbrook's transformation, empty storefronts becoming thriving businesses, young people staying instead of leaving for bigger cities, families choosing to move here specifically because of its reputation for community strength. Agent Carter, now Director of Community Outreach for the FBI, appears on CNN. Maya Johnson didn't just save 2 federal agents. She saved an entire approach to law enforcement. She proved that the best protection against crime isn't more surveillance or weapons. It's stronger communities where people look out for each other. Maya's personal reflection shows her growth. In an interview with the Millbrook Gazette, Maya says, "People keep calling me a hero, but I just did what Grandma taught me. When someone needs help and you can give it, you don't think, you act. The real heroes are all the people in this town who decided to rebuild something better instead of just going back to the way things were." The camera captures her standing in front of her grandmother's grave, Rex sitting beside her, a fresh bouquet of wildflowers in her hands. The headstone now has a small bronze plaque, "Beloved grandmother of Maya Johnson, whose values of integrity and service continue to change the world." The transformation is complete but ongoing. Maya's journey from invisible teenager to national leader proves that extraordinary change can come from ordinary people making moral choices in critical moments. Her story continues to inspire communities across America to believe that they matter, that their actions have consequences, and that helping others creates ripple effects far beyond what anyone can imagine. 1 year later, Maya would face a moment that proved her journey had come full circle. Maya, now a sophomore at Vanderbilt with a 3.9 GPA, returns to Millbrook for the first annual Community Protection Day. Hundreds of visitors from other program communities fill Main Street celebrating their transformations. As evening approaches, Maya walks Rex along Highway 9, mile marker 12. They stop at the memorial erected at the accident site. In recognition of courage that changed a community. October 15, 2024. But as they stand there, Maya hears familiar, terrifying sounds, screeching brakes, crunching metal, another car accident. Almost exactly where the first happened, the callback moment, Maya and Rex run toward the wreck, a sedan that struck a tree. Inside, a young couple with a baby. The woman is conscious, but trapped. The man appears unconscious. The baby cries, but seems unharmed. Without hesitation, Maya calls 911, then approaches. Her FBI training kicks in. Assess, prioritize, act safely. The car isn't burning, but the woman has a leg injury and can't reach her baby. Maya carefully extracts the infant, then applies pressure to the woman's wound using techniques from her criminology courses. Rex stands guard until paramedics arrive. The stranger's response? As the family loads into ambulances, the woman grabs Maya's hand. "Thank you. I don't know how to repay you." Maya smiles, remembering her own words to the FBI agents. "You don't need to repay anything, just pass it forward when you get the chance." The woman looks confused, but Maya doesn't explain. At the festival's closing ceremony, Maya delivers the keynote to community leaders, federal agents, and residents from dozens of towns. Real protection doesn't come from government programs or law enforcement. It comes from ordinary people who decide to act when action is needed. Every one of you has the power to change lives. You just have to step forward when the moment comes. In the audience, Maya notices a young girl, maybe 12, holding a small dog, listening intently. She reminds Maya of herself, serious, observant, slightly invisible. After the speech, Maya approaches. "What's your dog's name?" "Buddy," the girl says shyly. "He's a rescue, like me." Maya kneels to pet Buddy. Rex joins them. "You know what I've learned? Sometimes the best rescues are the ones who rescue other people back." The girl smiles genuinely for the first time. Maya sees the same spark she once carried. Maya walks through downtown Millbrook at sunset, Rex beside her, surrounded by festival celebrations. She passes the old Winnebago, now a mobile outreach unit at the community center. Her grandmother's voice echoes, "We may not have much, but we've got each other and integrity." Maya checks messages from 47 communities in her program. She has integrity, purpose, and a future. Most importantly, she helps others discover the same. The girl who felt invisible now helps communities become visible to protectors. Maya's story started with, "I can't just watch them die." 1 year later, that decision continues saving lives across America. Maya Johnson's story proves that heroism isn't about being perfect or powerful. It's about choosing to act when action is needed. In a world that often feels divided and hopeless, Maya shows us that one person's courage can literally transform an entire community. Her choice to save two strangers didn't just save their lives. It exposed criminals, protected her town, and created a program that now protects hundreds of thousands of people across America. Every day, we face moments where we can choose kindness over indifference, action over passivity, hope over cynicism. Maya's story started with a simple decision. I can't just watch them die. What's your moment going to be? When life gives you the chance to step forward and help someone, will you take it? Your story of impact is waiting for you to write it. Like this video if Maya's courage inspired you. Subscribe for more stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Share this with someone who needs to remember that their actions matter. Because they do. Because you do.
The story you heard today wasn't cleaned up. It was told exactly as it happened. At Black Voices Uncut, we believe that's the only way truth can live. If you felt something, hit like, comment, and your reaction, and subscribe. Every week, we bring you voices that refuse to be silenced.